How's it going? So this is sort of an introduction video to my channel, and I figured the best way to do that would be to sort of give a show of some of the content that you're going to see mostly on this channel. And for me, one of the biggest things is going to be this Minecraft world right here. Right behind me I have the cathedral, and I figured this would be a nice place to start off. Um, So, if you can't already tell, I am new to YouTube. I don't really know what I'm doing. In fact, I don't even truly have editing software. Um, However, I figured this would be a nice way for me to get into YouTube, see if maybe I get anywhere. But yeah, so here's a little bit of an introduction to my world and to my channel. So I guess we'll just do a world tour and start off that way. So, as you can tell, we just left the cathedral, and it takes you down to this path right here. Um, I haven't already mentioned this, but this world is very special to me because it's one of my oldest survival worlds. In fact, I think we're approaching 6 years now on this world, which doesn't seem very old to some Java Edition players, but for a Bedrock world, that's a decently old world. Here we have the Dragon Shrine. And a fun fact about the Dragon Shrine is the day we put this together and placed that egg was, of course, the same day we killed the dragon. Uh, and the strangest thing is that we actually ended up losing the world to a corrupted autosave. The desktop that this world was saved on, now it's on a realm. The desktop that this was saved on actually, well, went kaput the first time, and then the autosave of this world corrupted, and like I said, we lost the world for the longest time. And it wasn't until I think a couple weeks into school that we finally got the world back. So we had been missing this world for the whole entire summer, but I think it was 2018 or 2017 we lost this world. But with that aside, here's a look at the front gates of the Empire. This is the first Empire and the oldest Empire, and this is actually where it all began. If you make your way over here, we get into sort of a little town district. This is more of a working area. We have the brewery in here, and then we have the house of all houses. A little funky looking, but it gets the job done. Actually, the reason the house looks this way, it used to be just a simple A-frame house, but I one time, for whatever reason, added this tower so close to the house that we decided to literally conjoin the two buildings. And so that's what we did. And this is what we consider to be the house. Um, very simple, just got regular storage. But you can tell this house means business because on the inside is where we keep all the goodies. Yeah, that's 6 years worth of mining. And believe it or not, there was a time when we filled up most of this chest with iron blocks. And over here we got totems. Thanks to the Village and Pillage update, these are rather easy to get nowadays. Got a potions box here, all various types of potions. And then over here this is the jewel box. Oh yes, and this isn't even all of our diamonds in the world or emeralds. In fact, we have a vault that I'll probably show off later or maybe in another video. But then of course we got certain mob heads and whatnot we got from charge creepers, and the single wither rose we got from a wither fight. Anyway, yeah, we kind of like to show off our wealth a little bit. If you couldn't already tell, got a small little room over here. This is usually where I sleep. Over there, that bed was my father's. And yes, I do play with my father. It's primarily just him and me, but we're trying to get my brother on. He's on PS4, so we're sort of waiting for that all to come out to where PS4 edition players can join realms. But anyway, so that's that house. Excuse me. So over here is the kitchen. I built this a long time ago, and like many of these buildings, this was redone several times to where I finally got it how I wanted it. Cake over here, might as well take a jump on that. And then we got You'll notice there's sort of a trend. These chests, unfortunately, we've cut them out, but yeah, a lot of fish in this world. And the simple truth for that is, well, I'll show you why here in a bit. But to put things short, my father is notorious for fishing, and he has many rods like this. I'll show you how many rods, perfect rods as he calls them, he has. But as a result of all that fishing, we have chests and chests and chests and chests of fish. I don't know if there's any in there. No, just a little furnace array. But yeah, no, there's chests full of fish dotted all around the world, even some in other empires. For instance, the Sand Empire, which I'll show you later. But anyway, with that aside, for further proof that he's a fisherman, this is where we store all the enchanted books he gets. And yeah, so chests and chests and chests of enchanted books, 6 years worth. It's quite incredible. In fact, all the enchantments on our armor, you can see we've used quite a few. But there was a time when literally every single chest in this place was full, except for the hidden room, which I'll show you here in a bit. So yeah, books and books and books, and there's more over there. These are the better books, but I'm not gonna go too crazy on all that for the sake of time. But if you make your way down here, we have actually we have an enchanting table right there, full level 30. Then if you go down here, this is sort of the study area. This is where I like to sit, do my reading and writing. And got a stash of, well, did have a stash of books at one time. Of course, more books and whatnot. And then if you go down here, it takes you into this room. And then this is where we store some of our mending books and things. We had more upstairs in the jewels chest with all the diamonds, but I primarily keep them down here. Of course, these are not all full because we've used a ton. So, if we go up here, take you to the next building. Just a little work shed, by the way. Very simple. It's only enough room for one and, well, really two chests. There's a hidden one right there. But if you make your way over here, this is the smeltery. This smeltery, I cannot tell you how many times has broken down on me. It is so frustrating. But there have been times when we left the chunks and the chunks somehow messed with the redstone and it just would not turn on. And by turn on, I mean lock the hoppers so that we could store the XP and pull XP from the system. But yeah, just a very simple two-way smelter system. We have the blast furnaces on one side and the regular furnaces on the other. Just turn it off just like that. The top is for the ores, as you can imagine, and then the bottom is for the fuel. And I know this looks crazy, but yeah, we've nearly filled up this chest completely with coal blocks. And then, of course, all of this, we've nearly, completed this full row of kelp blocks. I'll show you the farm that we used to get all of that a little bit later. Make for an interesting section of the video. But over here, this is an old tower, by the way. In fact, I think this is only the third oldest building in the world. And the funny thing about this building is it's the first building we didn't take down several times and rebuild. To rebuild. We got a simple piston door here, and then we're in the brewery system. Just you pull the brewing stand down there, and you can see what's on the inside, and then you just simply press the ingredients you want. And because this room is somewhat small, we keep the most of the items in here, like the glistering melons and the phantom membranes. We don't really have a spot for those just yet, but I'll probably find a way to fit them in. Anyway, as you can see, it just filters right into that brewing stand. It's not the most efficient thing in the world, but it's rather effective. And then here's where we get the water for the water bottles. But anyway, we're going to soon have to sleep here. This is the barn. This is actually the second oldest building. I probably should have shown it to you when I passed by, but here we are now. So, this is where all the villagers stay. It used to be the barn, you know, where we kept all the animals and whatnot. But now the villagers stay here, and they've got their own beds, and finally a little bit of furniture in there. Used to be just a dirt floor, so, but it looked kind of wrong, so we gave them something a little bit nicer. But yeah, just a very simple farm area. Of course, we have all their work tables so that they can come and replenish their trades. Got buildings dotted all around the place. Very nice, I think. Very simple, easy going. Yeah, of course, some of our doors are missing because of zombies, but good news is the golems usually take care of them when they do spawn. They don't tend to spawn all that often for some reason. But anyway, so this is sort of one of the many villages. We're actually planning on building two more on the other end of the empire, over that away. But before I show that off, I might as well not sleep because I don't think the phantoms will be on me. Oops. I did not mean to do that. My bad. Now he's going to lower the trades. Great. Anyway, might as well take you over here while it's nighttime. Actually, because the shaders are very nice at nighttime, the lighting effect. And yes, I am using shaders, obviously. But if you want to know what these shaders are, I'll think about putting a link in the description. To be honest, I have to look them up because I don't quite remember what I downloaded. But if you're interested in these shaders, yeah, I'll get you a link so that you can get it for yourselves. So here we go. This is sort of the mining district. This building is unfinished. It used to have a crane just here, but I took that down because it just looks kind of strange. Here's one of our quarry mines. Goes down to where we used to get obsidian. And over here is just a worker building. I really like this design for some reason, because this is my own design, and well, many of these buildings are my own design, if not pretty much all of them. But this was my own design, and I was pretty proud of this because it's a very cute building. You know, you got a little smelter area here, and then upstairs there's minecart for storage and bunk beds, and there's even attic space. So this would make a really nice starter house. I've never thought about making a tutorial, but once again, you know, this is sort of the first time I've ever fiddled around with YouTube. But anyway, got another one of those little houses for the miners. We keep moving right along here. And this is actually sort of a little town district just in front of this castle. Now this is one out of two castles in the Empire, and its primary purpose is not necessarily to be a home, but more so to be, you might want to get, wow! He went a ways. Okay, well, like I was saying, this castle's its primary purpose is to house the end portal, which we actually found by accident. This used to be I used to intend for this castle to be sort of a home, but when we found the fortress, like I'll show you here in a bit, it was, well, that's kind of turned into its purpose. Excuse me, I'm a little bit at a loss of words. I'm just kind of winging this. I don't really have any editing software, so if you have any suggestions, just hit me up in the description. But anyway, or the comments rather. But anyway, just some small shops around this area. Just keep it kind of easy and calm. And then if we go over here, I have yet to add a bridge. Like many things in this world, there are a bunch of things that I need to add. And then over here, we have sort of a beach area. You see the little umbrellas and the chairs, the pots, and the whatnot. And then over there, this is actually where we farm up the turtles. Now, as of the 1.14.60 update, I think the turtles are actually bugged out for whatever reason. But Yeah, is what it is, I guess. Now this is actually the laboratory, but I'm not going to show you the lab just yet. There's a tunnel that goes into the lab because it's really just not complete, and it would just take more time than is necessary to take. So I'm going to leave that for another video. But anyway, if we go down here, this is actually the arena. And like many things, it has yet to be complete as well. Yeah, I still have to do my rim around here like I did on the other side. But it gives you an idea what it's going to look like towards the end. So there's that. And we go up here. And if you haven't already been able to notice, this wall, the front gates actually connects to this wall. And this wall goes around the entire empire. It's taken me a long time to finish, and I just recently finished it, with the exception of the obsidian interior. And yes, I have filled this entire thing with obsidian. In fact, that backdrop just behind those stone brick slabs and stairs is the obsidian. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to show in this area. I didn't show you the windmill, but you probably saw it on the way by. Not much to see there. Actually, there used to be a farm just behind the windmill, and all the items from the farm would filter directly into the windmill, and that's where we used to store everything. But that has long since been patched up. Got another watermill just there. But anyway, I figure I might as well just go to bed now so that we can get to daytime and I can take you to the other end of the empire to kind of show you what I may be working on in future episodes. We go up here. Dad's not online, so I might as well take this opportunity to sleep in his bed. Okay. This has always been a pain. Come on. There we go. So now I'm going to take you to the other end of the empire through the docks. Oh wait, I should probably show you the farming district. Okay, you know what? I may not actually get to the other end of the empire in this episode. There's just a lot to see that I completely forgot about for whatever reason. So this is the station, and it actually leads to a whole redstone mess back behind here. But eventually, I'm going to connect up a block here with a button, and there's going to be a place to where you can place minecarts and go to various stations. Right now we're on line 2, and I think that takes you into the farming district. I'm not too sure. It's been a while since I've been here, and it's also been a while since I've constructed it. And apparently it's been a while since I've checked on the things I need to complete in this build. Wow. Well then. But anyway, yeah, it's just a whole redstone mess over here. I don't even know what half of this does anymore, to be honest. But I don't know, it was fun to create, and it does the job still, even to this day. I probably built that maybe 4 years ago. So yeah, that was kind of amazing that still works. But anyway, here's a rainbow bridge. This was built by my dad a long time ago, and it's still one of my favorite bridges in the world. Just because it's just so colorful. Anyway, so here we are in the swamp, and this actually takes us to these paths to the farming district. Just over there is the tree farm. Right over here is the barn, the new barn. Okay, surprise. Nope. Wow, are you really gonna... Okay, I see how it's gonna be. I don't want to hit him because I have a village nearby, and if I kill him, I'm gonna get the omen, and I'm gonna have to fight a raid, and I really don't want to do that. So yeah, let's try to ignore him. But anyway, here's the barn, I'm not going to take you on the interior because it's rather mundane, but you know, it gets the job done. Just a bunch of pens and actually a sheep farm, or a wool farm rather. Down here is the farming district. My dad was the one primarily responsible for digging this place out. And as you can see, there's two layers just like this, where it's full of wheat. Apparently slimes have been spawning. That was our one mistake. We built this in a slime chunk. But if you press this button, it'll actually farm the wheat for you. That's always satisfying to me. I just love watching that. I just leave it like that and come fix up the rest later. Then if you go down, let's see, actually let's go down to the bottom. I'll show you where everything is stored. If you go through here, this is where everything is stored. Here's the sugarcane. Now the sugarcane farm is right here. As you can see, it's a dual layer, and it goes all the way back to the end of this. This is, I think, a 32 by 32 hole that my dad dug. Yeah, something. I think that's the dimensions. It's just absolutely massive, and it goes down to bedrock level from the surface. So this is where all of the sugarcane filters in. Quite a bit. Not the most efficient farm in the world. It's not zero tick or anything, but it gets the job done, like pretty much everything here. And then this is actually the dried kelp farm. Now, what I didn't show you yet is there's a zero tick kelp farm right up there, the very top of the farming district. And so all that kelp filters down into here, which is the smelter system. I just have a dropper dropping the items, and a minecart comes by every so often to pick up the items. I'll shut that off temporarily so you don't have to listen to that. Oh, well, I guess there's the clock that filters the items back into that chest that you can hear, so forget it. But anyway, all the kelp filters into here, where it then gets smelted. And of course I recycle some of the kelp blocks, the fuel kelp, for the kelp blocks for fuel. And then that just simply filters into a hopper system, which takes it back up around here and into these chests. So I can then craft it up into more blocks of fuel. So it's just a very similar smelter design to the other one. You got the, I mean, it's just the layout is different. So here you got the fuel or the items to be smelted, and over here you have the fuel. So that's all that. Oh yeah, and this is where all the items from the farm's coming in. And as you can see, it's actually coming in now. That's probably what that clock you hear is. Very simple design. So anyway, if we go over to the top, I'll show you the last major farm in the farming district. Well, I guess last three. So firstly, we have the Zero Tick Pigman farm. And I'm not going to run this one just because it's kind of finicky and I don't want to burn down the wood on accident. Because that's the only issue, the downfall with this farm. It's a very efficient farm. And like I said, it is zero tick, so you get quite a few pigmen to spawn. And there's a water channel just behind there that filters all the way down into here where the trident killer is. Let me turn this off real quick. For whatever reason, everything's dark, but yeah, this is where the pigmen come into, and they get killed by the trident cycling down there, and then of course I get the XP for that. But you need a trident killer because there's so many pigmen that spawn. It's just absurd. So this is that layer, and then if we go up to the top, you'll see the zero tick kelp farm like I was talking about. Now unfortunately this design, I'll try to get a link to the YouTube where I got this design off of. This farm design is very frustrating to me because it constantly breaks. However, it's very easy to repair, and it's extremely efficient. I mean, as you saw, there was a ton of stuff coming into that smelter system, and it was still feeding into the system as we speak, and as we were down there. So this is that, and you only need 4 layers because this is, like I said, 0 tick. It's very fast. And then over here is actually the bamboo farm. And then this one I can show off because it's nowhere near as fast and it doesn't break. But yeah, you can see how fast the bamboo is growing. It's actually giving it a growth update, and then it just simply breaks it afterwards. Very interesting. So anyway, so this is the farming district. I'm not too sure how long I've been filming, to be honest. But I figure maybe I'll cut it off here. And one more thing. I apologize. There's so many things to show off in this world that it's kind of difficult to manage myself. But if we go over here, the tree farm. So this is where all the wood is stored. And here we just have various saplings and whatnot. And then this is the behemoth machine. Now, the only trees that this farm cannot harvest are, I think, acacia trees and dark oak trees, just because they're shaped weirdly. But all the other trees, spruce, oak, birch, and jungle, can be farmed. There's probably another one I'm missing. No, yeah, that's the rest. All of those can be farmed. This one, that one, that one, and that one, with the exception of these two. So I still need to put in the plots for those. But then here we simply have a sorting system. And down here we have a sorting system where everything is sorted out. You can go grab whatever logs you want. But then I'll show you how the farm works. The same guy that did the 0 tick farm was the one that provided the tutorial video for this design. And like I said, I'll try to get a link to his video, either in this video or in a future video. So here we go. Let's just start with 1 sapling. Now you really only need 1 sapling because it keeps giving you back the saplings that this system collects. But if we go up here, turn on the bone meal, you can place this sapling, and once this grows, it'll just push it over to here, and then it gives us the saplings that we harvested from the leaves up there, or at least the system harvested from the leaves. And I think you can go 13 times before you've got to stop, otherwise the system will break. And the reason that is because the system is actually supposed to be hooked up to like a wither. But the issue with that is it's going to make the sky dark, and I just really don't want that to ruin the aesthetic of this area. So that's that. But let's put up these saplings here. So it is a manual system. It's better when you have 2 people, because one person can be cutting down the logs while the other AFKs. But either way, it's a very, very efficient and fast system. So I think it'd be best to leave it off there. If you made it to this far in the video, I know it's probably a relatively long video, but if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I hope to see you in the next video. I don't really know how this is all going to work out, so for all I know, I'm not even going to be able to upload this video. But either way, I appreciate you for making it here, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.